Hello and welcome to what I hope will be a series of short messages. Times are changing, aren't they? And they're changing fast. Within the space of a few weeks, we've gone to being worried about COVID-19 to being isolated and to being in lockdown. And it looks like we're going to have to get used to it for a while. The word unprecedented has been used a lot about the coronavirus situation. And it's true, there's a strangely kind of disconnected feeling around, as if these are uncharted waters and we've never been here before. Or have we? Well, not in our lifetime, certainly, but the people of God have been in similar situations to this before. And this week's readings are another amazing example of God speaking into our situation through Scripture, giving us confidence that He is here with us, guiding us, and unlike us, not at all taken off guard by the turn of events. So I'm going to read to you now the Old Testament reading for Passion Sunday, and this is Ezekiel chapter 37, the Valley of Dry Bones. It's a great story, so enjoy. The hand of the Lord was on me, and He brought me out by the Spirit of the Lord and set me in the middle of a valley. It was full of bones. He led me back and forth among them, and I saw a great many bones on the floor of the valley, bones that were very dry. He asked me, "Son of man, can these bones live?" I said, "Sovereign Lord, you alone know." Then He said to me, "Prophesy to these bones and say to them, 'Dry bones, hear the word of the Lord. This is what the Sovereign Lord says to these bones. I will make breath enter you, and you will come to life. I will attach tendons to you and make flesh come upon you and cover you with skin. I will put breath in you, and you will come to life. Then you will know that I am the Lord." So I prophesied as I was commanded. And as I was prophesying, there was a noise, a rattling sound, and the bones came together, bone to bone. I looked, and the tendons and flesh appeared on them, and skin covered them, but there was no breath in them. Then He said to me, "Prophesy to the breath, prophesy, Son of man, and say to it, 'This is what the Sovereign Lord says. Come, breath, from the four winds, and breathe into these slain, that they may live.' So I prophesied as He commanded me, and breath entered them, and they came to life and stood up on their feet, a vast army. Then He said to me, 'Son of man, these bones are the people of Israel. They say, "Our bones are dried up and our hope is gone. We are cut off." Therefore prophesy and say to them, "This is what the Sovereign Lord says. My people, I am going to open your graves and bring you up from them. I will bring you back to the land of Israel. Then you, my people, will know that I am the Lord, when I open your graves and bring you up from them. I will put my spirit in you, and you will live, and I will settle you in your own land. Then you will know that I, the Lord, have spoken, and I have done it, declares the Lord." So, dem bones, dry bones. Ezekiel's vision of the Valley of Dry Bones. Let me tell you a bit of the backstory to this. Ezekiel was writing in a time of great political and religious upheaval. In 597 BC, the terrible king Nebuchadnezzar conquered Jerusalem, and many of the people of Israel were sent into exile in Babylon, including the prophet Ezekiel. Many died. And not so many years later, in 586 BC, the city of Jerusalem and the temple were completely destroyed. Now, this was a great crisis point for the people of Israel. Their home, their way of life, their place of worship, it was just all gone. And there they were, strangers in a strange land. How could they be the people of God now? How could they worship Him without their temple? How could God have allowed this to happen? Had He rejected His chosen people? They were in despair. They had lost hope. It's tempting in these strange times of ours to succumb to despair and to lose hope. And in times of crisis, many do question where God is in all of this. Some want certainty and they bring together theories of exactly what God's doing. Some find their faith is shaken. Others are just bewildered. Now, let's be honest. We simply don't know why God allows these terrible things to happen. We just don't have the answer to that. But we are not in completely uncharted waters. The people of God have been here before us, and we can learn from their experience. The vision God gave Ezekiel shows that he had not abandoned his people. Far from it, in fact. He saw their plight and he knew exactly how they felt. God says to Ezekiel, "Son of man, these bones are the people of Israel. They say, 'Our bones are dried up and our hope is gone. We are cut off.'" They may have felt that God had left them, but he was very much there. And not only was God present, but he didn't want them to be left in that dismembered, disconnected, dry state. So he tells Ezekiel to prophesy to the bones, and as Ezekiel speaks, they connect together and they become people of flesh and blood. And they stand up, a breath enters them, life returns. And God gives them a message of hope. "I will put my spirit in you, and you will live, and I will settle you in your own land. Then you will know that I, the Lord, have spoken, and I have done it." God is with us too. He sees our plight, and he knows how we feel. And he will put his spirit in us and raise us up, and we will live. This time will not last forever. God promised the people of Israel that they would come into their own land, and they did. God keeps his promises. Yes, it took a long time. Yes, the land didn't look the same when they got there, but home they came. There was hope for them, and there is hope for us. The time will come when we come home too, when we can be back together, when we can rejoice to worship together. And then, like the people of Israel, we will know that indeed God has done it. But in the meantime, let's look for the ways in which we can be joined together, like those bones were joined together. So pick up the phone if you need to talk. Use FaceTime or Skype if you can. Don't forget to look at the Mission Area website regularly, the Facebook pages, the Twitter feed. And remember, you are not alone. There are people here who love you and are praying for you. And let's end with these words from Psalm 130, which are like a prayer. "Out of the depths I cry to you, Lord. Lord, hear my voice. Let your ears be attentive to my cry for mercy. If you, Lord, kept a record of sins, Lord, who could stand? But with you there is forgiveness, so that we can with reverence serve you. I wait for the Lord, my whole being waits, and in his word I put my hope. I wait for the Lord more than watchmen wait for the morning, more than watchmen wait for the morning. Israel, put your hope in the Lord, for with the Lord is unfailing love, and with him is full redemption. He himself will redeem Israel from all their sins." The Lord is here. His Spirit is with us. Lift up your hearts. Pob bendith i chi. Hwyl fawr.